portion of Arkham Warden Quincy Sharp's office. On the wall are blueprints for a walled-off section of Gotham City to expand the asylum into. At the time, the meaning of this was unknown, but as it turned out, Arkham City, the game, would use this idea and turn this section of Gotham into the setting for its sequel. It was so hidden that it took over 6 months after the game's release for anyone to find it, since the game gives no hints or indications of that room whatsoever.
Alfred, have you got my location?
Only just, sir. There's more interference than usual.
Number 9. Happy birthday, Snake! Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
Happy birthday to you.
Many players wondered why this game asked for your birthday at the beginning of the campaign, and as it turns out, it was a setup for this fantastically fun Easter egg. Snake's birthday will coincide with whatever the player enters, and on that date in-game, he will receive an urgent call to return to Mother Base. Though it seems like he's going to be greeted by gunfire, it's actually the sound of fireworks as Ocelot and his fellow Diamond Dogs present him with a song and a birthday cake. Oh, and if you found quiet by this point in the game, you'll get this badass moment included too. Number 8. Celebrity Guest Stars. NBA Jam Tournament Edition.
Ugly shot!
Hillary Clinton may have lost the 2016 presidential election, but in the right hands, she can really kick some ass at b-ball. We're referring to, of course, the cameo that she and her husband, former US President Bill Clinton, have in NBA Jam. If the Clintons aren't quite fresh enough for you, Will Smith also makes an appearance, along with over 30 other additional guest stars. It all depends on what code the player enters before your team is selected. It's an amalgamation of 90s nostalgia wrapped up in a 90s video game, so you really can't beat that. Number 7. Computer Terminal. Call of Duty Black Ops. The main menu of Black Ops may at first appear to be a typical selection screen, but as it turns out, there are a few secrets to be found. The player is allowed to control Alex, the protagonist, as he's strapped to the chair. With enough struggling, you can break free and explore the interrogation room, where you can find a computer. Accessing the computer can allow the player to play the classic text adventure Zork, as well as an original minigame called Dead Ops Arcade. Number 6. Call Kratos, God of War. This is one of the lesser-known Easter eggs in the video game community, which is surprising since it's pretty awesome. It can be found in the throne room in Olympus towards the end of the game. Destroying the Ares and Minotaur statues awards you the vague secret message, which can be accessed from the main menu. At first glance, it appears to be a random selection of numbers, but if you read them from left to right and dial them into your phone, eventually the God of War himself, Kratos, will greet you. Despite this being over a decade old, at the time of writing, these numbers still function, so it only takes a small amount of research if you want to experience it for yourself.
By the gods, you've done it. Somehow you found your way here to me.
Number 5. Romero Turns the Tables. Doom 2: Hell on Earth. Every great Easter egg has a story behind it. In Doom 2, in the room where the final boss is fought, if the player uses the ID clip cheat, they can access a hidden room behind the boss that features a head on a pike. This head belongs to none other than John Romero, the famous designer behind the Doom series. What's so interesting is that Romero initially was unaware of this Easter egg and discovered it just before the game's release. In response to the attempted trick on him, he added a demonic-sounding line that, when you play it backwards, just says, "To win the game, you must kill me, John Romero." It looks like he managed to have the last laugh. Number 4. Megalodon, Battlefield 4 Naval Strike. If the Jaws franchise freaked you out, maybe it would be best to avoid this Easter egg. After the release of Battlefield 4, players began to believe that a megalodon, an actual prehistoric shark that could grow up to 60 feet in length, existed within the game. This was initially untrue, but with the release of the Naval Strike DLC, the programmers added an Easter egg that results in the appearance of a nightmarish shark, which destroys everything in its path. Triggering the event is based on numerous clues hidden throughout the DLC, which are too numerable to mention here. But one thing is definitely for sure, you're gonna need a bigger boat. Number 3. Red vs. Blue cameo, Halo 3.
Hey. Yeah? You ever wonder why we're here? It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here?
In 2003, Rooster Teeth premiered a web series called Red vs. Blue, one of the earliest forms of video game machinima. It was a surprising success, spawning over 200 episodes and counting, as well as a huge fan base. Now, this is where things start to get a bit meta. In Halo 3, there's an Easter egg that involves unseen characters arguing behind a door at the start of the Crow's Nest level. These characters happen to be voiced by the actual voice actors behind Red and Blue, and the conversation features a comedic tone that's similar to that of the YouTube series. Plus, each difficulty level brings up different characters for more hilarious banter.
Open up!
What's the password?
Password? Oh man, I forgot.
Forgot what?
I forgot the password.
See, that was almost right. See, the password begins with I forgot, but ends differently.
Number 2, Cow Level, Diablo 2. The first Diablo game wowed gamers with its addictive gameplay, though some were left with a single question: where's the cow level? Rumors persisted that there was a secret cow level in the game, but this turned out to be false. However, in a clever reference to that rumor, the developers hid a secret cow level in the sequel. Here, all enemies are hell bovines, which are big cows that wield weapons, including the area's boss, the Cow King himself. Coincidentally, the Cow King is also listed as one of our favorite secret bosses in video games. Sorry for the shameless plug, that probably won't happen again. Probably. Number 1, Creeper Nest, Borderlands 2. When two of the biggest gaming franchises of the 2010s collide, there's no way we couldn't choose it as our number 1 pick. The Creepers are the most notorious mobs in Minecraft, and one of the game's most recognizable images. In the 2012 sequel to Borderlands, Creepers can be found in an area in the northeast section of the Caustic Caverns. They behave exactly like they do in Minecraft, closing in on the player and detonating with a deadly explosion. A larger and more dangerous version of the Creepers, unique to Borderlands 2, also exists, called, appropriately, the Badass Creeper. It just goes to show that no matter what universe you're in, these things are just as freaking annoying as they always are.